Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di and today I am bringing you another Yarnie update. This is Yarnie update number 21. I did get quite a bit of stitching done in the month of March. Like I said before, I was participating and hosting March Mystery Madness over on my other channel, which is a month-long reading event where we encourage the reading of mysteries. So I did also read a bunch of mysteries during the month. If you're interested in my thoughts on what I read, definitely check out that video, which I will link down in the description box below. And if you're interested in reading books or manga, I do have a secondary book and manga channel, so I will link that down in the description box below as well in case you're interested. But it was a very busy month for me. We did have some things going on at work as well, and I will get to that towards the end. But in this episode, I have some works in progress. I have some finished objects. I don't have any acquisitions this time. I did order something, but it hasn't yet come in. So you should be seeing that in the next Yarnie update. But I did get done what I promised I would get done to show you today. So that is really great. So let's just get into what I am currently stitching. So the first project I have to share with you is living in this Hawaiian fabric sock bag that my mom made for me. I am working on a pair of socks for my daughter. I am doing it in the leftover Krampus yarn from Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is on their Show Stealer base, which is their MCN base. I did my Christmas tree socks in this, which I believe I showed you in the last Yarnie update. And so I always share skeins of yarn with my daughter. So normally we do heels, cuffs, and toes in another color so that there is enough yarn for both of us. But I was selfish and I used that yarn entirely for my Christmas tree socks, so there's not a lot left for my daughter. However, my daughter's feet are smaller in circumference than mine are, so her socks are going to be smaller, so I'm hoping that there will be enough, or at least a majority of her socks will be in this Krampus color. But I've decided to do the Dragons in the Night sock by Kay Litton, or the Crazy Sock Lady, for my daughter. This is one of those patterns that I picked up when she was having one of her sales, and it's just a kind of a textured front side of the sock, and the back side of the sock is plain. It's just knits and pearls to give you this kind of, let me see, texture that looks kind of like dragon scales. And in this yarn, it's a little hard to see because of the variegation, but I think it's just lovely. If you look at the picture of the socks that are on the pattern, or Kay's actual project page on Ravelry, you can see that she did hers in like a black and gray kind of variegated yarn. And so I thought, well, it was a little hard to see her design as well, but my daughter said that she's okay with just knowing that there was this bit of texture. It's not like everybody needs to know that it's there. So that's what I've done for her. I did shorten up the leg a little bit. I believe the pattern calls for 70 rows in the leg, and I've done 36, which is about how long my daughter likes her socks. And then we have our slip stitch heel here. Again, I'm using another color so that I can kind of stretch this Krampus yarn. This is Cascade Heritage in the color Jade. These are leftovers from my Clipped Crows Fly Again sweater and socks. And so I thought this color is definitely one of those colors that you can see in the yarn. And so yeah, we decided to go ahead and use that. So far you can see that I have just picked up all the gusset stitches, and I'm starting to work those decreases. And because my daughter's socks are much thinner than mine, this is going by rather quickly. I've only been working on this for a couple of days, and so I think these socks are going to be done rather fast. I am so glad with how these are turning out. I have no idea how much yarn I have. I have no idea if I have enough yarn to finish this pair completely, but if I don't, I know there's going to be enough for at least the leg portion to be in the Krampus. I mean, there is quite a bit left, I think. I don't know, man. Looks can be deceiving, but I'm going to use it all, and whatever else I need to do with it, I will use the jade color, but the heels and toes will be in that jade color, and then I'm going to use as much of this as I can. So that is my first project, the Dragons in the Night Socks by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady. My second work in progress is in this gigantic bag right here. This is that Disney Christmas bag that my mom made for me. And here is my mom's sweater, or the sweater that I'm working on for my mom. It's the pajama cardigan by the Autumn Acorn. And I actually was able to work on this one quite a bit during March, which I was happy about. So the last time I talked to you about this project, I was there. This is being worked on in Lion Brand Pound of Love. This is the Oxford Gray color. And so I have done the entire front left panel. So now I have the back and the front left panel done. And this was just plain stockinette stitch. And it was just enjoyable to just not have to think about any kind of patterning. And I was able to watch some subtitled shows while I was working on this. And I just sometimes forget how enjoyable knitting on a stockinette item can be. I don't normally knit plain things because they do get a little bit boring for me, but I think because I had so much going on in the month of March, this project was just a lifesaver to me, and I did get so much done. So back and front left panel done. Now I need to do the right left. Now I need to do the right panel and the two sleeves, and I believe there's some kind of edging for around the front, and then this will be done. So I am kind of out of this Oxford Gray color yarn. I do have a little bit left. I have this much, which is about as much as I have of my Krampus yarn by Leading Man Fiber Arts. I will be using this. This cardigan has two pockets in the front attached to the panels, and so I will be using this for one of the pockets. I don't think there's enough for both. So what will I be using for the rest of the cardigan if I don't have any more Oxford Gray yarn? I do have the right front panel still, like I said, with the two sleeves, and I have two pockets and whatever edging is around the front. So I will be using Pound of Love again in the charcoal colorway. So I actually ripped out a project that I had started. It was a blanket that I was working on for my cousin's first child. I ended up setting him a sweater and booties instead, and so I decided to go ahead and reclaim this yarn from the other project. This is like a dark charcoal color. Again, Pound of Love. I have a full skein of this. This should be enough to finish off the sweater. I did already talk to my mom about it. I told her I could buy another skein of the Oxford Gray, but that I did have this charcoal color, and she said go ahead and just use the charcoal, then it'll be like a color block sweater. And so I intend to make the front panel and the 2 sleeves in this charcoal color, and then I will be doing 1 each of the sleeves, 1 in this color and 1 in the Oxford Gray color on the opposite panel. So the charcoal panel will have the Oxford Gray pocket, and the Oxford Gray panel will have the charcoal pocket. So I'm hoping this will work out fine for her. It looks good so far. I think it's going to be about the right size. You can see I did put a little skein cozy on this one because for the other project I was working on it 2-stranded, so I was pulling from the outside and the inside. So this is what was from the inside, so this is still connected to the skein, and I just don't want it to collapse on itself. So that has been the project that has been kind of the mindless knit. There's still 1 more panel to do that is going to be completely stockinette. It's going to be just like this one, and the sleeves have no patterning on it either, at least I don't think, but the pockets do, and those are small, so those aren't going to take much time. The big thing for me on this one is going to be the seaming. I've mentioned before that I'm not great at seaming, so this will definitely be practice for me. But if I can't get it done well, I'm either going to give the pieces to my mom and have her sew them together with her sewing machine, which she is a sewer. She does have a sewing machine. Or maybe see if she'd be interested in seaming her sweater together. But I'm going to give it a go. I will give it a go. But I don't want it to be kind of wonky. Do you know what I mean? Especially if this is going to be something that she'll wear quite a bit, which I think she will, because it is a cardigan, and so she's able to put it on and take it off at will. And the fact that it's just, you know, gray and black, it'll match a whole bunch of things. Plus machine washable because it's acrylic, and yeah, so that's the acorn cardigan. So that's the pajama cardigan by the Autumn Acorn. So now we can get into no stitches required, which are my finished objects. So I have 2 pairs of socks to show you. The first pair are my vintage Darling slip stitch socks. I always get hung up on that. It's just a simple slip stitch pattern in the vintage Darling colorway by Bad Wolf Girl Studios, and I am just so happy with this. This is just a design that I came up with. It's a simple slip stitch pattern. I did not write it down. I know there are other patterns out there that have this type of design on it, so if you're interested in trying to find one, it's not going to be a problem. But like I said, it's just a simple slip stitch pattern, a rounded heel, slip stitch heel with a rounded heel turn, and then the Kay Jones cottage toe. Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. This is her cottage toe configuration or design or whatever. But I am so happy with that. I was very concerned about the variegation in this yarn and how to best show it off, and I think those look great. So these were my February pair for my Christmas sock project, trying to do 1 pair of Christmas socks every month at least. So I did get these done. The heels and toes are in Filcolana Arwetta Classic. I can't remember the colorway name off the top of my head, but all of the links to my blog posts that have all of the information on the yarns that I used, the patterns that I used, and all of that stuff will be linked down in the description box below. They are linked to my blog, not my Ravelry. So I did double up the information that I have on Ravelry on my blog. So hopefully if you do have issues with looking at things on Ravelry, that you can see all of that information without issue on my blog. At least I'm hoping so. That was my main reason for doing that. So yeah, I do have information on Ravelry, but if you have issues with Ravelry, please check out my blog link down below. And I am super excited for these. My next pair of finished socks are my March Christmas pair. I told you that I would have these for you to see in my next Yarnie update, and I did get them done. They are these. This is the Sherwood sock pattern. It's a pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast, and this was the first quarter patron only, or platinum pattern, which are only for patrons. Yes, platinum pattern. Kay does this like exclusive pattern collection for her gold and platinum patrons. For the gold patrons, which I am now a gold patron, it is available during the calendar year that it is released. For platinum patrons, those patterns are available all the time. Any time of year. If you join as a platinum patron, you can go back and see all of the platinum patterns that have been released. But I am a gold patron as of December 2020, and I specifically increased my patron amount, level, because I knew these socks were coming. This was a pattern that she had designed for her husband Dan at his request. It wasn't going to be a pattern that was going to be released, but several people had made mention to her that they'd be interested in knitting this one. And so because it was such a special pattern, she decided to release it to her platinum, or as part of her platinum collection. And I am so happy with this. It has this lace design in the middle with a simple cable pattern running down each side. And then you can see in the back here, there is a panel of pearl bumps. So this design, let me put it this way. So this design was inspired by Robin Hood, I believe, is what she said. So the lace panel in the middle is Maid Marian. The kind of arrows in the back of the leg are Robin Hood, or something like that. And the yarn that I use is called Merry Gentleman. It is by Lolo Did It, and I thought that it was perfect for this pattern just because of the name. I wasn't too sure that this yarn was going to work for this pattern, I have to be honest. I started down the leg of the first one and I was like, oh, this might be a bad idea. But I don't know, you might not be able to see the design very well, but I really love the look of these socks. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about them. I don't know. I thought as soon as I knew these socks were coming out, I had this Merry Gentleman sock yarn in my Christmas yarn stash because it is a Christmas colorway for Lolo Did It. And I thought those two will go perfectly with each other. And I wasn't wrong. At least I don't think so. They are my socks, so even it might not be a great look. In your opinion, I think it is a great look. And I'm very pleased with these socks. Do you know these socks only took me a week? This pair took me 1 week to knit. I was shocked. I couldn't believe how fast these socks flew off my needles. And with the cables and the lace and not only having something to do up in the front, but you've got this thing in the back here of the leg. I thought for sure this would be a sock design that would take me a lot longer than it did, but I don't know, maybe I was just super inspired for this project. They were done in a week, and I couldn't be happier. So you can see that I did use a contrast heel. This is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the Aurora Heather colorway. It is just a skein that I had lying around. I did use this as part of my Blizzard socks a couple years ago, which is also a Christmas sock that I had done. And so I wanted to conserve some of this Merry Gentleman yarn for my daughter because, like I said, we do normally share skeins, so there is enough now to make her a pair of socks as well. They won't be socks like this though. She's not really interested in this, but I am so happy with this project. So those are all the projects that I have been working on lately, or at least during the month of March. Now, what am I going to be doing for my April pair of Christmas socks? Well, I'm going to take it easy in the month of April. I have already started a Christmas sock. I have it in my Charlie Brown sock sack. This is by Utterly Adorable Knits, and it is a design that I am trying to work on, so I won't be showing you what the front of the sock looks like, but I can share with you what the yarn is. So I am working on those socks in this Mally socks. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that because I will butcher that badly, but it's by Fernerwall, and this is colorway 24, 12, 20, so it's like Christmas Eve. This is a much plumper finger wing weight yarn. I had thought this was going to be variegated, but it's kind of a strange one. So let me pull out the sock for you. I will show you the bottom of the sock so that you can see what it looks like. But this is my sock so far. I have one sock done. So this is what the yarn knit up like. You can see there's kind of a pink, there's the pink stripe, then there's this like faded green, and then some micro stripes, a thicker stripe, more micro stripes, fading pink, and then faded red. And so that's how this knit up. I was completely surprised. I had no idea that was how it was going to look. I had originally started just working this up as another just patterned sock, or it was a lace design, I think, and I immediately knew that wasn't going to work as soon as it started showing up all of these strange stripes. It is very interesting, but like I said, I am trying to work on a pattern, so I'm not going to show you what the other side looks like or what the leg looks like or anything like that. But I am using contrasting heels and toes in this Knit Picks. This is the Everglade Heather colorway stroll fingering. I did do an Eye of Partridge heel. Again, can't get my Eye of Partridges to look nice. I don't know what that is, and you can see that I still have all of my little markers there showing me how long my foot needs to be, because I do count rows instead of measuring for the length of my foot. This is what I've got. I've only got the one sock done. I have started the second sock, but I don't have that one done yet. I can tell you now that I'm going to have to redo this pattern on a more plain color sock yarn because I don't know what that's going to look like. Some of the things that you don't even think about when you try to put together a design, It's been quite the learning experience. So anyway, I'm just trying my hand at putting together a design, and we'll see how that goes. So this will be my April project. We'll see how far I can get with trying to come up with a pattern or create a pattern, or putting pen to paper and putting the pattern on a piece of paper, but that's what we're dealing with now. So this is going to be my April project for my Christmas sock box. So that is kind of my knitting plan for April, besides continuing to work on my mom's pajama cardigan. Now I guess we'll get into some recent life stuff. So if you're not interested in that, that will do it for the Yarnie portion of this update. And I will see you next time. Definitely let me know down in the comments below what your favorite make was, though, or what pattern caught your eye in March before you leave. I would really love to know that and see that and chat with you a little bit. So if you are here for some life stuff, like I said, March was very busy for me. March Mystery Madness was a huge hit again. I feel like every year we get more and more participants, and it's just a really lovely reading month. Everybody's talking about mysteries. You get tons of recommendations. You're seeing mystery books everywhere on everybody's feed, and it's just an awesome time. And this year we opened our own Discord, so we had people talking in there about our challenges and what they were reading for the challenges, and about all types of series and all the different genres of mystery. It's just been lovely. So that is now done. I am filming this at the very beginning of April, so March Mystery Madness is done. Like I said, if you're interested in knowing what I read and what I thought about those reads, definitely check out my video down in this description box below. Other than that, we had a major email migration at work which has just been causing me stress. It's been terrible. The company that I work for was acquired by a larger company about 4 years ago now, and so everything's kind of been moving to the more company stuff, company equipment, company regulations, company standards and things like that. And one of the things that has been talked about was the computers. Our computers were on the older side, not quite old though, but out of date in regards to IT standards, I guess. Even though they still worked, they're considered a security hazard. So the company is migrating all of their agents to new, more secure systems, and we were told that this migration was going to be happening for our agency, and that they've done how many other agencies is not going to be an issue. They've learned a lot. It's they know what they need to do at this point, and that wasn't the case. So we've been having email issues for the last 3 weeks. Basically, what it boils down to is the fact that the new security program that is needed for our email is not compatible with our older computers. We knew this going into it. We knew other agencies had issues with this, yet the IT department did not want to deal with it. And so I was without email for like a week. I was on vacation for a week in between there, which was the week that I actually had worked on those Sherwood socks. But nothing's been working right. Mine finally broke down, and I was able to go into the office today and pick up a new computer. But we had to fight for it tooth and nail, and it's just been the most stressful time. And for what? Like, I feel like we were talking to a wall every time we told them, well, don't we need to be on this standard? And no, everything will be fine. So I'm hoping that April will be a lot more relaxed. Email is a very big part of my day-to-day workload, and without it, I couldn't get things done. So now I've been backed up. So hopefully I'll be able to get things moving next week now that I've got that new computer, but I have to set it up first. So that's going to take a while. But April will be better. April will be better. I'm not a very optimistic person to begin with. I'm more of a pessimist. Don't usually like to look for the silver lining. But I am forcing myself to do that in April because March, as far as work goes, was terrible. Everything else was great. March Mystery Madness was great. Knitting was great. Reading a whole bunch of books was great because my reading has been really low for like the last 6 months or so. I just kind of lost my reading mojo, but I think that's back now. And yeah, so April will be better. Other than that, everything is going well. My daughter has started back to college classes at home still. I am still working from home. Today was actually the first day I had gone into the office in over a year, and I just went in, picked up my computer, checked my office to make sure that everything was in its place to see if anything was left for me, which there was a couple things, so I was able to take care of that, and then I came right home. So yeah, still working from home. Really enjoy working from home. Will enjoy it more now that I have a new computer. Mom is back at work. The hours are extending as lockdown is slowly lifting. We'll see how long that lasts, but as long as my mom is safe and healthy, as long as we are safe and healthy, I am happy, I am thankful. I hope that you are all safe and healthy, and that will do it for me today. So let me know down in the comments below what your favorite thing in March was, what your favorite knit was in March. Did you find a favorite pattern in March? Your favorite book? Just chat with me down in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated. If nothing else, if you could leave me a blue heart emoji, that would also be greatly appreciated, and it would help me out a lot. So that will do it for me today. Like I said, I hope you are all safe. I hope you're all healthy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.